Hello there, and welcome back to War Thunder. Sorry for the video release delay, but I just had to re-record it. And yeah, sorry for that there were no videos over the course of the past 2 days. So today's video will have a little bit of a talk in the hangar, which you might find funny or not, but definitely either outrageous or pretty hilarious. You will find the scene at the end of the battle that I played containing this lineup. Yes, lineup, because I actually respawned for once and tried to finish the battle, tried to win the battle. And if this succeeded, or if I succeeded in this, we'll see. But at the end of the battle, there was an hilariously outrageous scene. Now, I was really furious when it happened, but after watching the recording, I saw the funny side. So be curious what it is and wait for the end of it. And I also used the replay to just highlight what I meant. The next thing is, aside from getting a cold while fishing, I was also really not feeling like it. And this is where my girlfriend usually stands in front of the cupboard, opens it up and wants to get dressed up for cinema or for going out for dinner, etc. And there is just all the clothes in the world in there, and she says, "Man, I've got nothing to wear." And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, my condolences," while eye rolling. And so when I fired up War Thunder yesterday, where I played this game, I was just, man, I've got nothing to play, only lead vehicles, So 1,337. And yes, you can count them together by yourself, but it's 1,337. And the big portion of it is spaded. This is the result of me playing for 6.5 years War Thunder, which I don't regret. But, coming to this point where, man, I've got nothing to play, I've played everything in every game mode and situation, etc. That's just bad. And if you're still in the grind, which probably you are, because it usually never ends, you will not understand this. But without the grind, War Thunder is pretty empty, which is kind of where the game modes and etc. comes in. Okay, I'm not going through my entire account. I'm not going through a rant here. Let's go into the gameplay and let's see what's what. And here we are on the Port Novorossiysk map, and I kind of like this map, especially if you're in a very quick tank such as the Black Cat. And this was where I wanted to counter a little bit the Tiger Flood, just to show that you still can easily defeat tigers. However, things went a little bit different, but let's now concentrate on the gameplay. So here I'm charging through the middle of the open ground on the middle of the map before the tanks can even come around the corner and start shooting at me. So this is the massive advantage of the Hellcat, which is one of the best light tanks in the game. Napalm, actually it's a tank destroyer. Yeah, clearly. It has a turret, it has a 50 cal, it's very lightly armored and very maneuverable, and I love this 76mm gun. It's so beautiful. I spotted this tiger and I was like, he's pretty busy angling versus the rest of my team, so I still wanted to catch some enemies off guard here that would drive by, but the enemies are simply too slow. And at the end of the day, at some point the tiger notices me, I reverse, I bounce the shell on the side of my turret, and then I have all the time in the world to go through the turret ring of the angled tiger and one-shot him pretty nicely. I saw a muzzle flash around the corner and I just went curious. What's around the corner, I guess? I asked. And yeah, I saw another muzzle, the dust kicked off by the enemy tank firing, and that sounded like a Soviet 85mm. I waited for the next shot, and then I peeked around the corner. I butchered it a little bit, but I still have all the time in the world to again go through the turret ring and get another one shot. Then I go in French mode, repositioning myself, and I wanted to then observe C. C is the central key of this map, and then a convoy of 2 T-34s was just driving by. They didn't expect me, and that's another point of the Hellcat. I killed the rear one simply because that one would have been able to kill me in return if I only would have killed the front one, but the front one was tunnel visioning on the front. I got here his gun breach. I'm still reversing, by the way. I need to finish him off. He is within our lines effectively, and I need to change this. So where it is, there it is, and easy finishing. Okay, so 4 quick kills in the Black Cat. That's a good start, might I say. And so I was like curious, well, what to do next? Well, it was working out that way that I didn't really want to go into the buildings yet. I had no idea where the enemies were. Yes, I killed a certain portion of them. Yes, I see that there is some action going on in the southern part of the map, in the southeastern part. And so I was just carefully rolling forward and just watching the sideways if there would be anything in there. But the problem is that I met on this corner again, and then yeah, there is the IS-1, and this time he was faster on the trigger, just as I was about to pull the trigger, and so I got killed. Usually that's the part where I leave the battle, because I've done my impact and I don't really try to use CAS. And so I come under criticism that I'm bad at CAS. So if you really think this, then watch the following. The Fury King Cobra is fantastic. I'm not quite sure if it is the A10 or the C5 version. However, 37mm gun in the front for 50 cals, beautiful, beautiful skin, and also 3 500-pound bombs. First customer of the day is a BF110 G2 that just happened to make a massive assault on my team and killed 4 tanks. The first angle of attack was not really the best one, so I turned around with the bombs. There you can see them, beautiful, and I tried to just catch this guy. The plane is pretty wobbly with those bombs attached, and I tried to snipe him here. I watched it in the replay over and over again. He flew straight through my shots very often. So now let's rip the flaps like an absolute pro, and that allows us to just to finish off here the BF110. Good stuff right there. Yeah. Now the next thing is there is C capture point, and this is very easy to take usually for the southern team, and so they then also have a very easy time to defend it. A Nashorn escaped now my approach, and there was no targets that I could safely bomb, so I turn around and watch all the other 3 roads, or 4 roads actually, leading to C, where the enemy team is just camping and waiting for an idiot to capture the C central capture point. And I'm observing, and oh look, there are 2 Tigers. Nice spark by a whirlwind, because, you know, German 20mm superiority. And of the 2 tanks that I bombed, I only killed the front one, so I need to turn around. I still have now the 37mm and the 50 cal, so now I can harass some open top stuff, just like the Nashorn. So let's find out if the date between my 37mm and the Nashorn's open-topped crew compartment is successful. Sadly not in the first approach, but we can easily pull out of the dive due to the great maneuverability of this reskinned King Cobra, and I'm just turning around. So the whirlwind is actually pretty good and manages to get a hit into my left wing. That's gonna be interesting in just a second. And let's just finish this date here. Come on, where are you? 37mm HE shots. Yes, that's hot. That's hot. 7th kill. I'm now a bit damaged, low on altitude, not pretty fast, and so I have not really that much energy for fancy maneuvers, so brute force will decide now the head-on versus those 2 aircraft. First one gets deleted by the 37mm, and second one, well, he flies into my left wing, which was already damaged, and that's a BF109 G6 after he sparked some 30mm mine shells, and well, he crashes, I don't, so that was funny. But my engine took a hit, so now I have to return to base to, well, just patch it up, to repair, refuel, rearm, and get some bombs back, because this battle is raging forwards and backwards. My team is trying their best, but there are some good enemy players on the enemy team as well. You have to give them credit where credit is due, and so now I fly home, and while I do this, C gets captured. At this point, I either could J out and get into another tank, another aircraft, or in a backup, but I decide to fly home. I wanna bring this bird home. That's just a habit of mine, and as you could see, I managed to do so. The one thing that I am really annoyed a little bit about is what I found out in the previous battle, that if you get this and you wanna change your loadout, you can't do this because you don't get the spawn points back. If you bail out, the plane gets registered as being lost. Not as being destroyed, but you lose the spawn points. Which I think should be changed because certain different situations demand for various different bomb or armament loadouts on various different planes. So this is where the game mode feels very much in beta, and that is just a big shame. So now we start again, and a few minutes later we are back into the fight. I'm looking again into the alleyways where the enemy team can look into C and just snipe my team trying to get there. There were not that many targets in the initial approach, where I also could safely bomb them, so I turn around. There is no enemy aircraft in the air, which is now allowing me for a free reign on the enemy tanks. Do you remember the first Tiger that I destroyed? Well, the second one is still there in the very same exact spot, and this time my bombs are better. Beautiful pulling out of the dive, and so now C is free real estate. It's free to capture. There is no other tank sniping it. But my team just simply hesitates, and this is where it begins to build up. I write it in chat. Team, capture C right now. It's free to get, basically. But my team seems to be held down by some tanks. I see that there is a marker, but I cannot really identify the tank. There it is, and he's moving, so no use for wasting the bomb here. Let's try a bigger target, a better target, and a stationary target. What could this be? Well, guess what? It's a German tank. And there it is. It's again marked by various different hits from the stray from the other aircraft. And it is a Panther. A Panther at long range, or medium range that is, on this map, is a pretty dangerous opponent. But a American 500-pound bomb, well, it just deletes the issue. Let's put it that way. And that is my 10th kill. Hooray! Double Ace. Is it good enough? Of course not, because it's all about caps. And so, because there is so little time left, I'm forced into drastic actions and I need to put the plane down. Trust me, I've seen this on YouTube. No, I need to land this thing, and let's see if the landing flaps and just playing around with the engine thrust, etc. And also using later on, just around about now, the cannon brakes as well. Can I get into A? There is a nice open flat field, but just around A there are some trees, so I need to drift around them. Can we do this? And the propeller gets wasted here. Ah, what a shame. And I even cut off the right wing, but I managed to get there close to the cap. Come on, I can make it. And what? I bounced back from the capture zone. How? Why? What is going on? That was bullshit. And because of this we lost. Oh, that is some bullshit. Let's rewatch that scene. So here I am beginning my landing approach, and I'm braking here with the cannons because the recoil slows you down, and I had enough ammunition left. So here I then need to drive or drift around the trees, and then the propeller gets wasted. Then just a few seconds later the right wing makes contact with this tree, and so it corrects a little bit also my approach. And then look at the left wing. The left wing goes through this lantern pool without issues, and then it doesn't get cut off. But then this happens. This is now slowed down, by the way. This is using the replay. And the front wheel is about to enter it and then gets repelled by an invisible force. Is this a lag delay from hitting the lantern pool? and then I still roll forward. The front wheel is in the cap. There you can clearly see it. What is this, Gaijined? Is this your version of the Wembley goal? What? That's just some massive bullshit. I've never seen this in 6.5 years. This has never happened to me. I was kind of furious. So yeah, that's it. So the results were still kind of okay, despite the loss. But I was just simply angry about this. This was something that should not happen in War Thunder, and I'm very interested in your comments. Not just only how many vehicles you have, but also if you have ever experienced something like this, because as I said, that is pretty unique for my experience, and I only was second in place, so that as well. I sent this replay to Jingles, but I doubt that he will feature it, although he might include it in a good, the bad, the ugly, whatever. And I think that was pretty hilarious. Just really rolling towards the capture zone and then bouncing back because you got Gaijined. Oh god, that's just some next level bullshit. Oh god damn it. It would have been so epic if it would have worked. But anyway, that's it for me today, so thanks for watching, thanks for listening, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you did, subscribe if you want to see more, and we'll see each other in the skies, on the waves, and on the battlefields of War Thunder.